The Coaching Hour with
Boitumelo
on Zoe Live Radio. www.zoeliveradio.co.za.
Good evening everyone. It's a Tuesday night. It's our coaching hour date nights. It's a lovely evening. I'm so happy to see everyone here, the coaches, the guests, everyone that has joined us to support their coaches, to support us, to support Zoe Live. Thank you so much for being here. This is a lovely platform where we are going to participate in these talks. We are all going to, interact with the coaches. Just a few house rules. As I've said, please mute yourself. And if you want to talk, please just raise your hand, or you can use the chat section as well to ask your questions. I am co-hosting tonight with Coach Sheila Baloyi. This is actually Coach Sheila's week. We were supposed to be doing Coach Sheila's show the fourth week, and we just thought, it's a month of it's a women's month, and we should actually embrace the time that we live in, the time that we find ourselves in. It's a women's month. Let's talk to women. Let's talk women issues. Let's incorporate the Women's Month into Coach Sheila's show. So Coach Sheila and I will be co-hosting, and I am looking forward to a brilliant show. We've got wonderful coaches with us. We've got Coach Khopotso, Coach Makosazana, we've got Lerato, we've got Khopotso, we've got lovely coaches. I'm not going to go into that. I just wanted to do a few house rules and just welcome everybody else. I'm excited that you have joined us. I'm excited that we are going to talk to brilliant coaches today. We're going to learn. Bring your notebook, bring your pens, take notes as you learn from these coaches. Coach Sheila, please join the conversation. Please introduce our lovely guests, and thank you so much for bringing these lovely guests, lovely coaches, with you tonight in our coaching hour.
Good evening. Hello everyone. I'm very excited. I'm gonna try and contain my excitement. I know Women's Month is celebrated. We're celebrating Women's Day, but it turns out to be Women's Month. Hey, and I love women. I really love us, and I'm sure we're all going to enjoy this evening. The guests, or the speakers rather, that I've invited this evening are very close to my heart. I've worked with them. They're my colleagues. They're women very close to my heart, and I'm very excited to be sharing this platform with them. This evening, all of them are going to be sharing, their tips, their success recipes that are going to also impact us as women. Controversial as they might be, these women, remember, they're coaches in their own right, and part of the deal of being a coach is to really ask those thought-provoking questions, or leave you with that thought-provoking lesson, or conversations, so that we can carry them forward. So once again, thank you to Zoe Live Radio and Coach Boitumelo for having us. Once again, my name is Sheila Baloyi, and I'm a business coach and a sales strategist. I'm the founder of Titokumo Group. With me tonight is, I'm going to start in no particular order. I'm going to start with Khopotso Holeni. Khopotso Holeni is also a very close sister of mine. We go to the same church. We really are thinking partners in this journey of entrepreneurship and, coaches as well. So Coach, let me just say once again, what is your superpower that you are going to be sharing with the women and the world from now on and going forward?
Awesomeness. Thank you very much, Coach Sheila, for that wonderful introduction. I think from my side is empowering and igniting that inner strength for all of us. We have it in us, and let's make it work for us. Thank you.
That is amazing. That's like a superpower. I hope you guys are writing down these superpowers, because we need to hold them accountable. Later on to say, hey, you promised to impact us in the world like that. So let me just quickly give you once again the background of Coach Khopotso Holeni. I'm going to read this. She's going to tell us in her description of what she does, who she serves, and how she does that, right? But she is a businesswoman and a coach, right? So in most cases, you would know that most people don't know what a coach does or who a coach is. That we relate coaching in most cases to different things. Either mentorship, either counseling, either a trainer. So as they come on board, they're going to all explain what coaching areas are they working in and so forth. So thank you, Coach Holeni, Coach Khopotso, for that explanation. You will introduce yourself further as we go along, right?
Yes.
Let me to Queen Makosazana Gumede. Good evening once again. So tell us, Queen, what is your superpower that you're sharing with the women in this month and the world?
So I believe that we were all created with greatness. So we are all created to flourish in life. So that is the superpower that I just want to live out there. That is my tagline, that we all created to flourish as God designed each and every one of us. He wants us to flourish in every area that we find ourselves in. And so that's the superpower that I would like to leave with every woman in this Women's Month. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so much. So Coach Queen is actually a transformational coach. She will tell us further on as well who she serves and how she does it, right? Last but not least, Lerato Mabitsela. She's the founder of Pearl Acuity, and she's going to tell us. Coach Lerato, she's a financial strategist actually. So there's a difference also. You're going to hear there's quite a lot of titles coming up. In most cases you'd find it's a person becomes a coach by training, but also a coach in terms of the technique we use to transfer learning, right? So Lerato goes by the title of a financial strategist. Lerato, tell us this evening, what is that superpower that you want to leave us with for Women's Month and going forward?
I'm a financial management strategist. Now, my passion is with businesses, with small businesses, right? We've all seen what has been happening to the economy of late, and I truly believe that the answer is surviving and thriving small businesses. So what I do is help business owners to create profitability, grow their businesses, and ensure that they leave sustainable, lasting legacies for themselves and for their families.
Great. It looks like Coach Sheila has a bit of a problem with the network.
Looks like I'm the one who's lost.
Okay, it looks like Coach Sheila still has a bit of a problem, but I just want to welcome everyone that has just joined us. This is the Coaching Hour with Boitumelo Tlalakai. It's a show whereby we transform people we build people that will transform societies. So we are here to give information, to give knowledge, to share knowledge that will build you, so that you are able to build the next person, the next business, the next client. This is about coaching. This show is all about coaching, and we coach everyone that is interested in doing business, everyone that is in business, everyone that is interested in growing their businesses. We have coaches here. We've got financial coaches, we've got business coaching, and we are talking women in coaching. We are talking women in business, in actual fact. And I just want to check if Coach Sheila is okay to do an intro. Coach Sheila, are you back? Otherwise, let me just go to Coach Khopotso. Coach Khopotso, I just want to know from you, where did it all start for you? When did your interest for coaching start? And how did you even choose business coaching? And tell us then a little bit about your business and what you offer. But let's start about your background. Where did it start for you? Where did the passion get ignited with the business coaching? How did it come together for you?
Thank you very much, Coach V. Actually, mine is a very long, but I'll keep it very short. And half the time I say my coaching journey is actually a reflection of the true me. It's actually a reflection of what I want to impact and leave as a legacy in the world. When I started, when I decided to get into coaching, it was soon after my corporate, life. I had been one of the pioneers introducing their fourth network operator in South Africa. And that, I must say, we did it very, very successfully. But after that, even in that environment, which was the true ICT space, I knew that my success was dependent on people. And throughout my journey, I have always, enjoyed working with people and literally understanding that whatever that we desire, will ultimately come through the output. So the more we invest and work with people, the better the output. And that's how actually my passion and growth into business, coaching began. I then went further and studied my master's in management coaching through USB. And, that is how I find myself in business coaching. And more specifically, entrepreneurship coaching, because that is the space that I believe that is the future. That is the space when we look at our current economic environment right now, we see jobs being cut. We see that transition from people saying, I no longer want to serve in this environment, but I want to leave this legacy for myself and the generation to come. And unfortunately also, most women, when they get into entrepreneurship, it becomes just a convenient space to find themselves into, and not knowing if you get into that space, not adequately equipped, you can become so overwhelming, and you would not be able to achieve what you initially wanted when you ventured into entrepreneurship. And I work with entrepreneurs across all levels, from the early stage entrepreneurs to the SMEs and the well-established entrepreneurs. And I also assist young graduates at the early stage of their corporate environment. So literally, if I were to look at myself from my corporate space, I have worked with everyone across the board. But right now, I'm actually enjoying my engagement with business women, business people like you and I. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Coach Koposo. One thing I totally agree with you is entrepreneurship is the future. I try and tell my kids and every other kid that I come across that is still in school, your secondary, high schools, to say, you know what, gone are the days where you go to school because you want to be employed. Gone are the days where you go to school to go learn something that you're going to have to be employed for. These days, you need to go into university with a question. You need to go into university with a business idea that you are going to test in university. And when you are testing it in university, you are actually running that business. You are researching your own business idea. So that when you come out of university, you are a ready CEO that has been practicing, that has a CV. You'd say, I started here and this is where I went. And after university, the CV is ready. You are not looking for employment. After university, you are employing now. I totally agree with you. And look at many countries that, are really pushing entrepreneurship. They succeed. In a big, big, big way. Singapore is one of those countries that embraces entrepreneurship. And look at Singapore today. It's a muscle in our today's economy. It's a serious muscle, and this is where everyone has a business idea. Canada is one of those countries whereby entrepreneurship is prominent. It's the norm. It's the norm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coach Makosi. Yeah. I don't know if I should call you Makosi or I should call you Queen. Which one do you prefer?
Both are good, whichever one you're comfortable with.
Okay, great. Tell us more about your coaching. Which I know we are talking business today, but I want you to set yourself apart. What exactly do you do? And where did it all start for you?
Okay, cool. So good evening, everybody. I do realize that I didn't greet you earlier when I was asked about my superpower. And thank you so much for inviting me into this platform. So my name is Makosazana, Queen Gumete. They both mean queen. So my parents made sure I was a double queen. So I'm a life transformation coach, and I suppose I believe that coaching is also a calling to some degree. And I believe that we are called to be healers, because there's just so much that is going on in the world. I started pursuing it like properly last year with lockdown, and I realized that there was a gap with everybody that is going through so much and everything that is happening in the world. So I thought this was a perfect time to launch into coaching. But before that, before formalizing it, I'm always coaching people informally. I'm also a mentor, even in my workspace, I'm a mentor. So I'm still transitioning from corporate into employing myself and into growing my business. But transformation coaching, really, it deals with those negative beliefs that we tell ourselves, those things that are holding us back, And I know that a lot of women are not starting stuff because they've got these stories that they are telling themselves that are not even true, There's those things, their environment that we grow up in, Sometimes it tells us that we are not good enough, we cannot do these things. And so as a transformation coach, really, you come to me and you tell me, this is your dream, this is your vision, but these are the things that are holding you back. And I literally just hold your hand and I make you see the bigger picture, really, that you can actually do it. And like I said earlier, I believe that when God created each and every one of us, he created us with a special gift, and it's up to us to find it. And a coach actually helps you to find that as well. And I believe that each and every one of us are created to make an impact into the society, but it's up to us to lift each other up. And I'm so grateful for this platform because it actually gives permission to other people that who were thinking that it cannot be done. But when they see other women doing it, especially women, because I believe that men, they have that innate thing of just believing themselves, even if they are not necessarily doing the right thing, but because they just believe that they can. It's in their demeanor. But for women, we really need to work on it. And so it's platforms like this, it's women like you and I that actually help and actually give permission to other women to do what needs to be done. So the name of my company is actually called Joy Unspeakable. And I actually got the name about 3-4 years ago before actually just registering it and going with it, because I believe that joy is at the core of every creation. You cannot create out of sadness, but joy is what drives. It's one of the highest vibrations in the vibration table. If you've got joy within you and you do everything from a place of joy, you'll find that it's easy to cultivate and it's easy to build. And hence the name of my coaching company. Thank you.
Wow, what a wonderful name. I tell you, that this is a name that will live to prove itself every time, every day. It lives to tell a good tale. Let me just check on Coach Sheila. Coach Sheila, are you back?
Yes, I'm back. I just want to test. I can hear you perfectly. Can you hear me?
We can hear you perfectly. We just had Makosazana, and what a beautiful story. I love the title. I love her title. She calls herself a transformational coach. And I love her timing as well. To start such a beautiful coaching path during a time that was, very frustrating time for South Africans, for the world, during lockdown. I mean, this is the time when we also launched Zoe Live. Zoe Live was actually launched last year, just shortly before lockdown. I think we started in February last year, and we've been going strong. We've been coaching people, and I love people like Coach Makosazana that come to transform the minds at the right time. When people needed this transformation, because everybody else was the mind were all over the place. You don't know whether you still have a job, you're going to have a job, because now you don't have clients anymore, you don't have people to coach anymore. It was a really testing time for all of us. And what a beautiful time to birth such a beautiful coaching company. Coach Sheila, let me come back to you. I just wanted you to introduce yourself a bit for those that are seeing you for the first time today. We have lots of very interesting guests, people that have joined us to be with us in the show tonight, actively so. So I want you to introduce yourself. Tell people who Coach Sheila is. Tell us also where it started for you. Where did this coaching passion start for you?
Oh, yeah. Thank you once again. Sorry, my apologies. I've got a 5-year-old, so please, I'm going to try and be as quick as possible. He just popped in.
Working from
without
home, right?
wasting time. Yeah, the beauty of working from home. Hey, Coach. So to everyone who hasn't met me, my name once again is Sheila Baloyi, and I'm a business coach and a sales strategist. And over time, with the success results, the coaching niche that I'm working in sort of expands itself, and really it becomes into this beautiful thing that I'm looking at. So for me, I've been in business now. This is my 3rd year. At the beginning of the year, I started counting down my journey in the journey to my 1,000 days in business. And for every other woman out there, I'd like you to start marking it and document. One of the biggest things that we always talk about in my women's circles is resilience, right? And I think for me, it has become such a personal thing. I will share a story. Some of you are going to experience it differently because in most cases, I'm talking leadership, I'm talking sales, I'm talking how to launch your business, what to do, who you need to be speaking to, how to clarify all of that, right? But for this session, because I thought it was for Women's Month, and it has to be all-inclusive for someone who is thinking of starting a business, someone who is already in business, someone who's thinking of scaling and looking for ways of how they actually need to grow. There is this middle part, just from starting before you get to success. And remember, the job of a coach is to really help you to move from one point to the next, to really shift in milestones in various areas. And I think this topic is very close to my heart. I call it, and I call everyone I get encounter a resilient entrepreneur. And I think that is my superpower. Resilience is really my superpower. I'll share with you a few tips of why this is important and what sort of questions I normally get. And some of the questions I'll be posting to my peer coaches also here, as we go along. So this coaching journey for me started a while back. I think I already knew. If I tell you the story, I was in grade 11, and my English teacher in that moment asked everyone in the class who thinks their career is going to be better than everybody else's. My favorite story. And I, just like that, my hand was up, right? And everybody knew I wanted to study economics at varsity, and that's what I did. I graduated in BCom Economics from the University of Pretoria for my undergrad. And the reason for me was I needed to understand consumer behavior. Why that specifically? I knew that I wanted to be a wealth coach. So now you will piece together the business and sales strategy that comes in, because those are the two things that really create wealth and really make you who you are. Now, where does resilience come in all of these things? I'm going to tell you that story also. As in my journey, so Post that, I went into working in the financial services industry for banks and for insurance businesses. I became a leader instantly like that, and helping people really to clarify a few things with what they wanted to do with their lives, really. So that's where the coaching got inspired for me there. My first coach training was in executive coaching, and it was an online coaching. So I didn't get really that experience of what exactly does a coach do. You can do it online, face to face, and what sort of other things. And from then on, I got then decided I'm going to do financial planning law, because in my journey of becoming a wealth coach, I needed to understand all these things about the law behind your finances, your needs analysis, why you need what you need, why you need the money you need, what is the tax, what are the legalities, and how do you even grow the money that you can do? How do you build that estate? What sort of happens when you get married and so forth. Why? Because I knew that I always wanted to serve women. And you know what they say, you give women money, you change the world. Because we're nurturers, you give us more money, we will take care of the world. And ideally, literally that became my mission throughout. I then registered, I left my 6-figure high paying employment where I was employed for 10 years in that business. And I got an opportunity to really start things from scratch. At first, I thought my superpower was really to start things from the ground and build, and that's the way, if you know what resilience is, it's all about being able to adapt and to really be flexible with change. And for me, it seemed like it was a natural gift, but there were things that I had to learn in that process of understanding what resilience is for me. So, look, there's a different school of thoughts that I've also have been going through to understand exactly what this resilience is all about. Just to mention one particular name, everybody that has been in my space will always tell you, I wouldn't say I'm an academic, but I really aspire to be a thought leader in my space. So that's why I will always share philosophies and methodologies of everything else I do. So if you look up the story of Viktor Frankl, you will also understand, that resilience teaching around what he actually was aiming to teach. So I don't want to share about his story, but I want to share with you my story of resilience. So in my business in Tutokumo, I registered the business with the focus of sales training and sales coaching initially. Why? Because I knew that is the one area, if you know how to raise money or revenue in your business, and you can articulate who you're serving, why you do what you do, your value proposition, you're bound to really grow. I know that in business, in corporate, that is an easy training that people will usually pay for and get, and they'll flourish from there. But in that process, I started applying coaching principles, taking people deeper into understanding. So my signature framework is around sales mindset, right? And in that sales mindset, I've introduced a program called Care to Convert, which the care is, in short, it's acronyms or abbreviations from the pillars of what resilience is. And that includes confidence, curiosity, if you like, adaptability, resilience on its own in general, and empathy. And those are really my values personally as a human being. And I incorporated that in my signature program. And so my coaching program is on sales mindset and sales strategy, right? So with all of that, within sales strategy, I teach you how to create your signature offers and sell them, market them, sell them, turn them into multiple streams of income. Because as a coach, you can either be an author, you produce a book, you can do online courses, you can create a lot more with your signature framework, and that's in essence, that's what I'm doing. For corporate business, I'm still doing core sales training principles and strategy also for them, consulting in that area also. And a bigger thing, where am I, if we speak coaching in detail, let me then cut my conversation short and bring it to the story. Why this
very short,
resilience.
Let's
Yeah.
try and minimize it. Thank you.
Yes, I'm minimizing it. I'm going to give you a few tips and why the whole thing, right? So I realized in my journey now that no strategy in the world will help us, deal with change or any chaos other than resilience. And resilience is leadership. So you can only build a business, or you can really be able to build a profitable business if you are resilient, right? And this is resilient at your core. So it is a skill that you must have to grow either in life or in business. So entrepreneurship is not a privilege for me, but it is a process where I'm also learning about leadership of self and how to lead others also. So my resilience stories will always around two things: personal crises that I've experienced earlier on, and professional crises that I've sort of experienced in my journey. And what these areas or crises really taught me were to find myself and understand exactly, who I was in the whole process. I want to share with you the gift I got to understand and to learn was around the fear of loss. For me, it was the fear of loss, because that's what happens. For anyone to really say, I've grown or I've become more resilient, it's because now they get to understand that change, that transformation in the transition, actually, as they go over or overcome whatever they may have lost, which is the normal. And for this Women's Month, that's where this resilience is coming from. A question I always get is that, how do I become resilient? And it takes quite a few other steps. There's 4 pillars that I've already shared, and 3 other things, right? Realism, being realistic. We always say when you're resilient, you're always very positive. And in truth, in all honesty, is that you become realistically optimistic when you are resilient. Let me not waste further time. I mean, you become resourceful when you are more resilient. So those are the 3 other things that I can just add to help someone who's asking themselves, how do I become resilient, especially in my business? So if we can go deeper, let's connect after this, or on socials. I will share my handles also. You can follow me on Facebook or on Instagram, Sheila Baloyi, either with a 01, but if you just type Sheila Baloyi, I'm popping up because of the SEOs that I use as part of strategy. So looking forward to talking to you further. If you have got any questions, just put them on the chat. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you so much, Coach. Wow, that was a good introduction. A very lengthy introduction.
Always a mouthful, hey.
Very. But thanks a lot, Coach. I want to now take Lerato Mabitsela. Coach, we're talking women this month, and we're talking, helping women in business. Coach Sheila has just spoken about resilience, as one of those characteristics, as one of those skills that you need to learn. If you don't have it as a characteristic, maybe it's something that you need to learn. What do you do in your business, to help women, probably with this resistance, but more with the skill in terms of what you do in your financial coaching? How do you teach women to be that resilient, and what exactly do you teach women so that they run successful and sustainable businesses?
Okay, thanks, Coach. In my business, Perliquity, we're a boutique financial management consultancy. We focus on not only, doing financials for businesses, but our methodology is formulated in 4 steps, where we take women or entrepreneurs through the process of actually educating them about their finances, all the way to empowering them to actually take control of their finance. It's something that came to me when, I've been working in finance for over 13 years, having started in corporate and then later joining SMEs. And when I started working with the SMEs, my job literally started from creating operating processes for the business. And then it started with the financial operating processes, and then we moved it on to literally creating a whole quality management system for the business. And that system, which was later ISO certified, is something that took the company from its small status to being a resilient and sustainable business, basically, that is now employing more people, that is now literally doing, making its contribution to the economy. With women, we know that, the success of one woman is the success of many. You empower one woman and it has a multiplier effect, which is what I love so much about working with female entrepreneurs. The only problem with female entrepreneurs is they're very hesitant to invest in themselves. And this is where now I come in and teach them that, look, you need to invest in yourself, invest in your knowledge, invest in your skills, and do the right thing for your business if you want your business to be sustainable, to have that growth. So what we do with our 4-step process is that we first start with auditing the business, where we find the needs of the business, where there are gaps. And then once we have our audit report done, we go into strategic planning. We plan your business, we have your financial planning, we have your management planning, and also the vision that you have for your business, right? Everybody has a 3-year business vision, 5-year vision, and a 10-year vision. And then what we do is we do a strategic planning around that. We make sure that whatever systems that you have in place support that vision that you have for your business. Then once we have done our strategic planning, we go into the implementation phase, where we implement it with you on a weekly, it's on a bi-weekly basis at first. For the first 3 months, we're going to be meeting every 2 weeks for an hour to look at your finances, to check if we're on track with the goals that we had set earlier on. And if there's anything to review, if there's anything to update, then we update it to make sure that we keep in line with the vision that you have set for your business. Then once you're comfortable with reviewing and updating your finances for your business, we look at your personal finances. Now, we know with personal finances, it's a huge, huge challenge for us, with South Africans spending about 75% of their income on debt. So with our program, we give you strategies to be able to manage your finances. You're taking control of your finances. If it's debt management that you need, we give you steps to go through debt relief. It doesn't have to be like consolidations or anything like that. We go from just our own steps for getting out of debt. And should your situation be such that you need external assistance with it, then we have partners as well that work with methods such as consolidations and all. But the main aim is to empower and grow your business and to make sure that you do not remain stagnant in the space that you're in. Africa, as a region, actually has the highest number of female entrepreneurs. But the problem is our female entrepreneurs are still regarded as informal businesses, and we remain stuck in that informal space, and we don't see any growth. All we do is take the money that we get from the business and we feed our families, which is not necessarily a bad thing. But in the long process, if you want to grow and build a sustainable legacy for yourself and your business, you need to invest in yourself, invest in those skills, and get proper systems to manage your business finances. So that is what we do in a nutshell.
Beautiful story indeed. I've seen businesses start, and businesses die very quickly. I've always asked myself, why do women-led businesses, don't go anywhere, don't even last 5 years? And I know that the coaches are here to address that question. That's a question for me, but I'm learning from what you are saying also, Loretta, and I'm very glad that your service offering is so vast that you even cover personal finance and what should people do in terms of when they are saying one is heavily indebted. You have programs and things that you can help women with and help people in general with to get out of debt. We hear about such businesses from white businesses where you go in there, you are even scared to ask the relevant question, to say, but this is how I got here, and this is how I think I could go out of this. But women being caregivers, being mentors, and builders, community builders, we're always taking care of everybody else. But when it comes to our businesses, when it comes to our things that we are supposed to take care of, things that should actually be run professionally, we still find ourselves wanting to mother everybody, even in business. And I know this does not only go for me or for Coach Sheila. A lot of women in business have suffered that until probably at a stage where one's business has really fallen apart and cannot even stand. That's when you actually learn the hardest way to say, I should have ran things professionally. I should have asked for help, and there are companies like Lerato's, Coach Lerato's company, that can actually help one and teach one how to run a professional business. Coach Sheila, I want to hand over to you, my co-host. We've done the intros while you were struggling. Everybody has told us about their businesses. I am looking at the chat room now, and I'm trying to see if there are any questions coming from that side. I don't know if you have seen any questions coming. Did you receive questions from anybody? I know I've got,
No questions as yet. No questions as yet.
Okay. Yeah. I know I've got a few friends here who are running their own businesses, and I'm going to put people on the spot if people are not going to ask questions. I'm going to run many more and pick somebody to ask a question if we do not get questions on the floor. Anybody that wants to take the opportunity to raise the question? Tato Molekani, I see your hand is up. Thank you very much, ma'am. Can you ask your question? Tato, you still on mute?
Yes. No.
Awesome.
I was just trying to unmute myself this side.
Okay.
No, thank you very much, ladies. I must say this is very empowering. I feel. Thank you very much for the invite, and this is a great session. It's good to know that there are ladies out there that are looking out and saying viva to us women. We are in the forefront, and we can actually take up the world to the next generation. My question to the coaches is, I'm looking at myself as millennium. I'll categorize that section as a millennium and as a female. And I'm saying, what advice would the coaches on board say to us as millenniums, as the future? Well, not the future, but the mid-future, the people that can still grow the country or grow the economy further. What would they say currently the best spend is on or what a person needs to spend with their money? Thank you.
Coaches, you got that question? Anybody wants to take that one up?
Okay. I would like to attempt that question. Thank you very much, Tato. I think, as a millennial, it's quite interesting because it's actually a special category with special needs, if I may put it that way. But to Coach Lerato's point, there is no better time than spending on yourself as a millennial. It is very important to truly invest in yourself to prepare yourself for tomorrow. As within a corporate environment, you need to know your game like no other. You literally need to hone your negotiation skills. But how are you going to get all of that if you are not investing in yourself? So putting yourself first, understanding what you need, and also having interest on someone to walk that journey with you to actually discard any self-limiting beliefs would actually go a long way for you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Is Tato, are you satisfied with the response? Any other coach that would want to attempt that question?
Okay, Tato, thank you so much. That's such an interesting question. You're talking leadership. You're talking, in this case, how to really spend what to really spend your money on, how to invest in yourself in this case. And Coach Kupsi is touched on more personal development skills and some very critical business skills in this case, which is negotiation, right? So if I may respond to that, where you would want to start investing yourselves. Back in the days when I sort of got in the corporate kind of space world, what was more familiar is that it was the older generation that once they've already established like 20 sort of other things stems from that. Can you hear me?
You are back, Coach. You had disappeared just a few seconds.
Sorry about that. So back into that, leadership and resilience thing also is that once you've found your meaning, your purpose, right? And in most cases, it can be loosely utilized in different spaces. When somebody says, I'm trying to find meaning of my life's purpose. But it's all about those kind of things. And I think millennials have a better chance now because they've already taken big leaps in terms of establishing or changing the landscape of what success really looks like, or what is meaningful to them. And I think if there is any other area that you want to invest in, is just really finding yourself in that space. What is your purpose and how can you utilize it? Remember, because we are always in transition, whether personally or career-wise or in corporate or professionally rather. Those are the kind of things that you sort of want to really look at. So we always say personal development is the best investment that you can ever do for yourself. But as you start any other business or any other venture, that's what Kopsi was also really alluding to when he says you need someone to really hold your hand, or to really work with you in establishing really what is meant for you. Just one more thing. Remember, the difference between coaching and mentoring is that a coach really works to your strengths, your goals, and really help you shift, right? Whereas that's how we transfer. We ask questions to help you learn and or facilitate learning for any coachees. And whereas with mentorship is that I can teach you my ways from my own experiences for you to learn and try and implement. So whichever one works best for you in this particular case. You need both as a millennium in most cases. You might need a little bit of mentoring just to get somebody else's experience and try and learn from that. But you also need to really find who you are by really working with a coach. I hope that really answers your question.
Good advice there, coaches. Good advice. I think all of us, in our different spaces, every one of us needs a coach. I know most of us, especially in the Black communities, we grew up with mentors in the community as our teachers, somebody that has gone through varsity before you, somebody that you aspire to be, and you walk to them and say, how did you do it? But nobody was responsible to hold you accountable. So every one of us, I believe every one of us needs a coach. You might be in business right now, you might be running your own consulting company in different spaces. There's always a question, there's always something that somebody needs to get over a certain stage in life, because as people we evolve. We face different challenges every day of our lives. We have seasons of great prosperity. We have seasons of challenges and pruning and a period where you have to grow up and change from who you were to something that you are going to become, something greater that you are going to become. And it always is a big challenge. Change is always not very comfortable. And in every phase of our life, I believe we always going to need a coach for accountability, for somebody that can always listen to you, somebody that you can use as your springboard, somebody that is going to listen to your ideas and help you shape those ideas, and help you succeed. Coaches, Coach Sheila, I don't know if there's anything else you want to say, or anybody that you think might need a question that needs an answer. Have you seen anything on your side?
A question on the chat. So please, if anyone, please raise your hand and let us know. But here's a question I wanted to ask the coaches, and if they, each one of them can actually sort of really, give the input in response to that, right? We're focusing on, we just mentioned that, how do you invest in yourself as a woman, right? In various areas of what you guys are doing, how else can you really encourage women? What are the sort of things, or tips, 2-3 other things in your specialties that women can really invest in themselves and start taking action from this session onwards?
Coach Makosi, do you have anything that you want to say?
Okay. Yeah, sure. So I think as a life transformation coach, I think it's very important that, and I think one of the coaches alluded to it, that part of coaching is changing, we're shifting the mindset. And so right now we are really just moving. It's a whole paradigm shift. We really want to shift into that space where we think abundance, where we also are aware that there's more than enough for all of us. And I think those are some of the things that limit people into starting, because as soon as they see Coach Sheila or they see Coach Lerato, they think, oh, it cannot be done because these ladies are already doing it. And so there's no room for me in the table. And so I really think we need to move from the scarcity mentality into the abundance mentality, to say, you know what, the world has been sustained from generation to generation, and there has been more than enough for each and every human being. It's only the people that are in the world that have kind of promoted greed and all of those things, and our environments have shaped us to think that there isn't enough for all of us. But I really just, for people that are on this call, just to shift from that mentality of scarcity into abundance, and also shift from a mentality of being a victim, but you shift into a victor mentality to say, I can do this, that anything that has happened to you was part of a learning process, and it was teaching you something. And you look at life in that way, that everything that you have gone through was a lesson for you to become a better person, and what you can learn from those things. And also the third thing is self-awareness, be aware of what is happening within yourself, the conversations that you are saying to yourself, the things that are stopping you, the things that you say to yourself that actually stop you from getting into the next level. And so once we begin to shift that, and we shift our mindsets, and we control our thoughts, and we think positively, and we speak positively, and we really just drive our goals, and we just have that can-do attitude. And so part of self-development is actually just changing those things, those little things, that our habits, the things we think about, the things that we speak about, moving from, from scarcity, like I've said before, just those things, it begins to shift things in our lives, and it begins to propel us to the next level. Okay, and the last thing, find your passion, whatever it is that you are passionate about, whatever it is that drives you, find that why, that thing that makes you wake up each and every morning. Find it and make sure that you harness it and you work on it, because you must remember, life doesn't happen to you, but life happens through you. So everything that is happening right now in your life is as a result of your thoughts, of your habits, and of everything that you've been thinking of, or that you've been doing. So thank you. I think I'll stop there.
There's a follow-up question, yes. Coach. Someone is saying a mental shift is crucial but not easy to achieve. How do you practically achieve it? Can you maybe just give steps, or like recipe?
It's anything that has to change is never easy. There's a passage of scripture that says, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. So everything that we see in the world, even this iPad that I'm using, it started as a thought on somebody's mind. And then that thought, it became this iPad that I'm using now to communicate with you. So anything that you want in your life, you're going to have to be intentional about it, intentional about what you want. You need to write down your goals, write steps on how you're going to achieve those goals. If you want to, I'm going to make an example. If you want to have a goal of working out, plan it, be intentional about it. Say, I'm going to go to the gym 4 times out of the 7 days of the week, and then commit to those four times that you're going to go, because everything it becomes a habit. And also be conscious, because a lot of people are actually operating on autopilot. They don't even know. They wake up, they go to work, they're not even conscious of what they are doing. So begin to live your life in a conscious way, be intentional about your life, about everything that you do. As soon as a negative thought comes into your mind, change that and replace it with something else, Lastly, there's a passage of scripture that says, unto he who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above, according what we imagine or think. Right? Which means that us as human beings, we are so powerful. And it says it's according to the power that is at work within us, which means that everything is in your control. And so that means you're going to have to start controlling your mind, and you're going to have to teach it. And it's not easy, but you have to teach it. Every time, catch that negative thought and replace it with a positive one. And
All right. So Coach Boitumelo, just give us direction in terms of questions. There's another one. Someone is asking, what are the top 5 books that can be recommended for everybody on the floor? I know that the same question that I asked, I was meant to, Kopsi and Lerato were meant to go for it. So give us indication time-wise if they can attempt to respond. And other than that, if coaches can just type in the book titles on the chat, and then we don't have to answer that verbally.
Yes. Thank you very much, Coach. I think that is a great suggestion. Our session was supposed to finish at 7. I hope we can still get a few more minutes, but this has been a very meaningful discussion. And for everyone that wants to contact our coaches, please, coaches, please put your contact details on the chat. Let's give people your contact details so that they can be able to follow up with you. Otherwise, everyone can contact me on my Facebook or on my cell phone, 081-450-2258, for any questions. But coaches, please put your contact details there. There's another question I think that I have seen from it's a comment from Coach Sheila. Yes, I see the book names are coming up, as well as the contact details for our coaches. If you want to get hold of our coaches, for a coaching session, for questions, for motivation, yes, please do contact them. We will be having Zoom live sessions for the whole of August. It's a Women's Month edition. We're going to have these live chats every week on Tuesday nights. Next week, we will also be talking health. We will be having doctor on with us. Next week, we will be talking women's health. We will continue talking about business, because I am so passionate about business, and bringing information to women about business. Coach Sheila, from your side, if there's anything else that you have picked up, something that you would like to say. I totally agree with one of the books that I have seen here, which is the 5 a.m. Club. It's a very, very good book. I have read it myself. I have a copy. Thank God I got it for a birthday gift. I love that book. And anybody else that has books that they would like to share that are very effective books that are going to help us, please do write on the messages. I know we've got authors as well on this platform. I've seen Babsi Shilobane. She's an author. She's written about 3 books, I think, in her very young life. Please do share details of your book. I know she would go with Coach Queen in terms of transforming mindsets and transforming oneself, from a negative state to a positive state. I don't know if Coach Tabiseng is here also. She has also written a book called The Entanglement of the Heart, I think. A very lovely book, very emotional book, uplifting book as well. If you have any book suggestion, coaches, please put them on our chats. But if we do get cut off any time, I would just like to thank everyone for joining. Thank you to our coaches. We are still on lockdown. Pray and hope that you are still observing lockdown regulations and restrictions. Let us continue to wear our masks and sanitize our hands everywhere we go. When we come back, please do steam so that you can be able to take care of your family, protect the next person. If you know that you have been exposed, please isolate and stay safe. Coaches, I'm going to give Coach Lerato just closing remarks, Coach, and let us know where can people contact you and how else are you able to help women who are in business and women, with personal matters of finances, personal matters of overcoming debts and overcoming life challenges when it comes to finances.
Thank you very much, Coach Boitumelo. In closing, I just want to give our viewers just 3 tips for your money, okay? You need to cultivate a money mindset, right? We spoke about millennials, and with the millennial generation, the 8-hour work day is, slowly phasing out. So you need to make sure that you know where your money is going to come from and you know your value. Okay. And then second one is that you need to set plans for your money. Tell your money where to go. Processes like budgeting and forecasting, those are your friends. They're not meant to restrict you in any way. They are meant to give you control and empower you over running your own finances. And lastly, once you have done all of these things, hold yourself accountable. Hold yourself accountable by continuously going back to check how your money is performing at any given time. You need to know at any given time how much money you have and what it's doing for you, right? So at Perlicuity for Women's Month, we are giving away 4 sessions. They're going to be 3-month sessions where we're going to be taking you through all the 4 steps, from educating you about your finances all the way to implementing your strategy in your business. You can find us on @Pearl_Acuity on Instagram and Facebook. My personal handle is Lerato Mabizela on Facebook and Lerato Mabizela on LinkedIn as well. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you, Coach. I saw a hand, Prudence Madiba. Madam, you had your hand up. Do you still want to ask your question?
No, thank you. I was clapping hands. Thank you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, ma'am. Coach Hopotso, your closing remarks.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I understand that time is not on our side anymore. But in closing, I think I would just like to say that women, let's understand that we belong. Let us know that if it is not, given to us, we need to create it ourselves. We need to know that we are valuable. We need to know that we are enough. We need to know that we have a voice and we are capable. So whatever that it takes, always reach out to that innate strength. We all have it in us. So let's make it happen. Happy Women's Month. It's a pity I had the whole thing planned, but time is not on our side. Thank you.
Coach, what is it that you wanted to share if time was not on our side? I feel like we are missing something.
There is a process, when I speak about as a business coach, as an entrepreneurship coach, your signature presence, your DNA, how do you live that wherever that you go? Where do you live your presence, your identity, the values that you espouse? All those define the essence of what sets you apart as a business person and as a young professional. And that was actually the essence of my coaching session, which was, if a mirror were to tell a story, what would it say? And what would it say about you and I? Maybe that is just some food for thought for another time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Coach. Coach Sheila?
Yeah, I mean, this is powerful. I know we need more, right? But I'm glad that Zoe Life is going to be hosting a whole series for the month. So in closing on my part,
I think been a radio presenter, Coach. You can talk. Let's do it, Coach. It's
guys, you have no idea. So invite me for your speaking gigs. But in love women, once again, I just want to really make sure that that I say all the time. And I think in closing, currently I will be running a boot camp at Tutukuma. So look out for that. Follow each other. Let's follow each other. Let's be friends on Instagram and on Facebook. I've shared my link for the free Facebook group where I'm running normally free training sessions on other areas. I'm sharing quite a lot of content, written content. Somebody asked about books. I will share also in the chat depending on the time that we have also. This signature program or signature offer is actually meant for any other person. In your career, you need to, Kopsi was just saying that you need to have an identity. You want to be known for something, right? And everybody is that valuable. You have something that you can share with the world. It might not be at the moment in your business, or it might just be in your business and in your career. Consultants, CEOs are known for something, and that is that footprint. So they're designing that signature program. You're going to see it's going to be running over 3-day sessions. It's like 2 hours long, very interactive. And it's going to be a live. It's not going to be recorded sessions also. I'm opening cut for it. It's going to be a paid session. I'm charging it at $2,000. You can. It's about $197. I saw that this morning that the rand is quite stronger, so you might be getting it at $2,000, between $2,500 and $2,800, depending on the currency. And it's going to have that lifetime access to that session. This is meant for coaches. So if you're a new coach, if you're a coach who has back-to-back sessions and you're really trading your time for money, this is definitely for you. If you're thinking, I don't have a website, I don't have the coaching business as yet, this is where you begin. I've seen it myself firsthand, where you get into a coaching space. Coach training teaches you how to create a signature program, but it really doesn't really effectively work in terms of packaging and selling online, because this is the new space where we're really marketing and facilitating our businesses as well. So understanding how to package it and how to price it. Lerato was talking about knowing your worth. The coaching industry is so easy to penetrate for anyone that wants to come in, but a signature program or signature offer really makes you stand out. This is for service-based entrepreneurs also. You could be in whatever field in terms of service-based, and you need to stand out. You need to be able to stand out of the crowd and take your expertise from your head into a program that people will always remember you for. I mean, look, I can give you various examples of signature programs that are well known there. One of my favorite is Tony Robbins, who's known as to be a personal development specialist, expert, coach, you name it. He's gone through NLP training, but even way before that, he's used personal development as his signature program. And quite a lot more, coming out in South Africa, also in the world. I don't want to take forever sharing who is using signature programs that really stand out. So I'm hoping to see you in that boot camp.
Sorry, Coach Sheila. You disappeared there.
Yeah, my apologies. My network is acting up.
Maybe just
so. But in a nutshell, I'll be once. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me do that. So I'll be sharing once you connect with me on Instagram. You'll see that cut is open. I've already ran some free sessions in how to build your signature program. So I was saying that we've always heard about personal branding, and in this particular case, we've known personal branding to be how you actually enhance your skills. But how do you show up in the world? You may have heard that saying throughout in various areas. How do you show up in the world? How do you then say, okay, you know what, this is what I need to be teaching, or not even, but just to be known for, all those kind of things. How do you get to it? So I think it's important that you really connect with me in how you can try and establish that credibility, because online space is going to define you, whether you're looking for a job, you're starting a business, you just being a role model in the community. A signature program will define you and it will help you stand out. So once again, thank you so much. I'll share my details on the chat, and happy Women's Month. My mission for 2021 was to really serve 100 women this year, to serve, sell, and thrive. So looking forward to connecting with you further. Thank you and enjoy your evening.
Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you so much. I don't know if we still have questions, but Coach Lerato has just posted there that she is going to be giving sessions to female-owned businesses that have been running for over 6 months. That's who qualifies. She will be running a 3 months. She'll be giving away a 3 months program, and the sessions worth 1,250. No, 12,500. Oh my goodness, this is a big prize. How do people then raise their hands, Coach, to say, I'm in, I want to be coached? I know I definitely want to be coached. Can I be coached as well? How do people raise their hands for this one, Coach?
They can contact me on Instagram or Facebook. However, my direct numbers are on both pages as well. So you can DM me or you can send a WhatsApp to book. And yes, unfortunately, I know I'm going to get a lot of people trying to sign up for this one. It's going to be limited to 4 spaces.
Okay. Thank you very much, Coach. Thank you so much. This is a beautiful prize. Ladies, please use this opportunity. And contact Coach Lerato for these sessions. You will definitely learn. I'm sure you've seen just the snippets of what she's shared with us today. Definitely, you will benefit from this. Any other question from the floor? And thank you so much, Tato, for asking that question. I'm glad that all the questions, all the coaches actually attempted your question, and you've got now a full spectrum, in terms of how to attempt and how to even try and live up to those responses. I mean, from a financial point of view, from a life coach, transformational coach. I know from entrepreneurial coaching. I know that, you know, whether you are in business or not, you've found your answer in so many ways. And from these ladies, these coaches, I know that your life is going to change. You're not going to be the same. If there are no more questions on the floor, going once, twice. Any more questions? Any more questions? Okay, I think all of us have given closing remarks. Coaches, thank you so much. Okay, Coach Sheila has something to say.
Yeah, I wanted to ask Coach Kupsu quickly, just for her services currently, what is she running for the month of August in terms of coaching services, and how do we get hold of her?
I am actually currently running entrepreneurship free entrepreneurship coaching services. So I am open to, you know, anyone contacting me who is an early stage or people that are kicking off their businesses to actually, you know, get hold of me so that we can walk the journey together. Only 3 entrepreneurs. Thank you.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Your details are so your cell phone, your cell number, and your email address is also attached. But yeah, and your social handles.
I think all my contact details are online. But if anything else, I'm still available. Thank you.
Coach Sheila, do you want to do a closing remark for us? And I've just posted my contact details. Coach Sheila, do you want to do closing for us and tell the viewers, the listeners, the audience, if you're going to be here again next week, and what are we talking about next week? It's Women's Month. You know, we're looking for coaches that will join us again for next week. We're having a live session again next week. Your closing, Coach? Coach Sheila?
As women, we really move and shift that needle in changing that narrative of what women in business looks like, or, you know, women in corporate professionals look like, and what success really looks like for women who are really doing it. So, and I think this was such an amazing platform. Thank you once again to everybody who joined. To my fellow colleagues, I've worked very closely with both of you, and seeing your success, I really want to say it in front of everybody else. Seeing your success is really, truly amazing. You know, if there is any other way where you see women supporting each other, these are the results that we see. And I'm glad that you guys are really doing it for other women also. Coach Boitumelo, thank you for holding the space always for us. Look, in a nutshell, I think most importantly, we can never really, you know, say entrepreneurship is glamorous. There's no glamour to it, and we want to really try and normalize that. In as much as we're sharing about our businesses and our growth and everything else, we all go through a lot. So take care of yourselves mentally. We talk about self-care in various ways. There's techniques that we can really share, you know, off-site of this platform, of how you can really take care of yourself, even when you're running a business. You know, just discussing that one part. I think if we can carry that conversation, something, what does it take to really transition from those? How else can we position and can we talk about those struggles? One of the things I always teach about is that when you're telling your stories, in most cases you will hear a lot of people are telling stories, and I know that it's tiring, it's exhausting, mainly because they never share what the middle looked like. Nights, the depression, the everything that goes with it. So nobody really shares, and I think I find comfort all the time that nobody really shares from a wound, right? When you are still building, while you are still bleeding, for this particular month is that we are not glamorizing entrepreneurship because it is a monster. It's a giant of a responsibility and of a life.
Okay, so something I also wanted to say while we're trying to get Coach Sheila back on is I'm also looking for people to co-host with for the entire month of August. From the floor here, if you want to co-host with me, please raise your hand, contact me.
Can you hear me now?
Oh, you're back, Coach Sheila. Your line is really bad. I'm going to mute you. It's okay. We will continue with you again next week. Yeah, I'm trying to mute Coach Sheila, but it's okay, Coach Sheila. We'll continue again next week. We've come to the end of the session. If you want to co-host with me this month, please do contact me on my cell number on Facebook. If you find me on Instagram as well, just DM me and let me know if you want to co-host with me. I just want to give people the opportunity, and if you also want to be coached, coaches have given free sessions. Please do contact me or contact them directly. Thank you so much, coaches, for coming on board. I love you very much. I really, really appreciate you and appreciate all our viewers, all our audiences, everyone that has joined for the full duration. Thank you so much. If you have just joined us, it's been the coaching hour with Boitumelo and it ends here. Thank you so much. Have a blessed evening and may the Lord take care of you. May the Lord protect you. Everywhere you go, please continue to pray for our country. Thank you, ladies. Thank you so much. Bye-bye until we meet again next week, same time.